What's up guys, I've been using iPhone 15 Pro for around 3 months, and here's the things I kind of know about it that's actually pro about this phone, and the things that's just not pro at all. Now, the word pro has been very vague in Apple's product lineups for a very long time. However, for me, I think after the launch of M1 MacBook Pro, the word pro is starting to meaning something for Apple. Pro models are getting more practical and more user focused over than design, and I think of that philosophy of Macs is coming into iPhone as well. But let me go through each key section of phone reviews and talk about how this phone is not completely pro yet, and a lot of stuff that Pro needs has to be in the phone. Now, the battery life is not that great. It feels exactly the same as the 13 Pro and the 14 Pro. But considering how powerful the 3nm A17 Pro chip is, I guess the battery life is impressive, but for an everyday average user perspective, it feels exactly the same. In my average day of usage, which is around 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, I know that's not healthy, I'm trying to fix it, but that will leave me to around 30% of battery life, which is not bad at all. However, when I'm on the go, when I'm using Google Maps like GPS, and especially if I'm shooting in Apple ProRes log, I think I'll be able to still use it a full solid day. However, it will not last towards the later night of the day. You might need to invest into mobile battery if you're going out there and spending some time in the nature or just going on a day trip and stuff. Also, at the beginning of the launch of this phone, I've heard a lot of people were having overheating issues, but for me, I've been using this phone for 3 months, I never had that problem. I mean, yeah, obviously when I'm shooting Apple log or if I'm playing like graphic intensive game, the phone will get hot, but it never got hot all of a sudden out of nowhere, and it's been really fine. The hardware is amazing as usual. The contour edges is more rounded, so it's easy on your hand, especially if you're a type of person who do not like to use a case on your phone. The new aerospace grade titanium looks super cool, and the frame of the video is matte finished, so it's not a fingerprint magnet. That's a plus. And the new natural titanium color, for me, I really like it. In terms of the performance of 3nm A17 Pro chip, this phone is nuts. For a while, all the flagship smartphone chips has been kind of the same. I think we kind of hit like the peak of phone performance in terms of mobile gaming, in terms of camera. However, with this product, I think it just elevated way too much. Now you can shoot 10-bit log with Apple's HDR and iPhone stabilization, which is just not normal. It's absurd and it's fantastic. The camera on this phone compared to other iPhones, this thing is just a true pro. And I think this product's camera alone kind of enable or just open up a gate for people who wants to start photography, videography, cinematography, like color grading and stuff. Not only just in entrance level, but even advanced level, people will enjoy playing around with this phone or just creating so many cool stuff on this small ass device, which is just mind-blowing. You're gonna see a lot of great content creators and a lot of people just creating awesome stuff, and I think that's a true pro feature right there. Also, if you want to know more about the camera stuff, I also talk about it in my previous video, so please go check that out. But in terms of the ultra wide, and telephoto, it's all great. It's super good, and the performance does not stop there. Thanks to faster GPU and overall performance efficiency, now you can play flagship video games in your palm, including Resident Evil Village, scary as hell, Resident Evil 4 Remake, 4 was one of my favorite Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed Mirage, and Death Stranding Director's Cut. Of course, it's not in the highest quality, you cannot play in 4K 120 frames per second. However, the point is, we can play it everywhere, anywhere we want. And isn't that great? I think it's phenomenal. One of the best features of this phone is of course the USB Type-C. Now most of the main Apple products are USB Type-C. You don't have to carry extra cable, and that's a plus. And because it's Type-C, now we have faster data transferring speed using USB 3.0. And especially when you shoot ProRes video, the data is so big on this that this actually Type-C comes in clutch. And because it's Type-C, you can plug external SSD directly to this phone and record it directly onto the SSD while you're shooting ProRes log. So this is a very serious question. What is iPhone 15 Pro missing out to become the true pro of any smartphone in this galaxy? Well, first is camera. Not the camera hardware itself, but the software aspect of camera. The interface and the amount of manual control that you can do on Apple's default camera app is not enough when you're shooting a Apple ProRes log. You see, as an average user, the camera app is great. It's super easy to use, super intuitive, and there's nothing really wrong with it. However, if that user is using this iPhone for a gig, or they're actually a pro cameraman and want to have a precise control of the camera, iPhone default camera app is not providing anything that's particularly good at all. So most of the pros are ended up using a third-party camera app such as Blackmagic Camera, Filmic Pro, or Moment app. And although those are useful, for me it doesn't really make sense if Apple is providing all these pro features to the phone and not providing the way to use those features natively on that product. The great example for this is Sony Xperia. They provide a very detailed yet easy to use control of their camera app, and iPhone is like completely opposite of that. And last but not least, to make this phone a true pro is a thicker body. I think I have a very solid opinion about this because at the beginning I talk about how Mac Pro lineup is becoming more pro and the normal Macs are becoming more, you know, not traditional iPhone, but more focused towards slimness, the thickness of the laptop, and I love that. I love how they're doing for Macs. We need that on iPhone as well. If you guys are separating iPhone into normal iPhone and iPhone Pro, and if we're spending like, how much did I pay for this phone? Fucking almost $2,000. I will really love to see a thicker iPhone. I'm not asking to be a super thick, like you guys remember one of those Energized phones? I'm not asking for that, but like a little thicker. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And I'm kind of like ending my tech YouTuber era. I'm not ending tech at all. I would love to just make video how I always wanted to. It's gonna be just the videos that I wanted to make. YouTube is not my main source of income. I started as a hobby, still my hobby, and I love YouTube from my bottom of my heart. So I'm just gonna do this as how I always wanted to. So subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.